Do go check that out though, guys. We do have to the bottom right hand side the orange Zerg player. This is Impact. And to the upper left hand side we do have the blue Zerg to the top left. It is Solar. So setting up into this and looking to see what's going to happen over the next couple of moments. And see how the ZvZ will go. We already saw Impact play against Sue earlier today. Took him down 2-1 in some fun kind of roach-focused games. And a sneaky kind of 13-12 kind of popped in there as well. So, yeah, excited to see how this will go. As we do get this setting on up. It's going to be seeing the hatchery first from both players though on Catalyst, so not going to be anything for the first couple of minutes here at least. And from here we're probably on Catalyst expecting to see a gas pool rather than anything crazy like a free hatch or hatch pool hatch. Gas pool makes a lot of sense on Catalyst. It's a short map, so being able to be defensive is always a nice little something. Not being too greedy is always a good little thing. Well, just going to be seeing this extractor comes up in the main, and we're just going to see a couple drones jump into it. Now a third one as well for Solar. And you do see at the same time on the other side of the map, Impact. Well, he's just got 3 workers and gas too, so really a nice slow start to this. So we didn't get to see Solar at all throughout his run here just yet. So, yeah, kind of cool as you do see this Overlord. Continue to move around, continue to see what's going on. Sorry, I was trying to check something and it just... when I click on it, it just doesn't work. Oh, there we go. That's how it works. I'm so silly sometimes. So yeah. Cool. Overlord coming in through the south side. He has a few lings coming around. Just had to fix something on my setup there. Things were like in the wrong order and they weren't working when I clicked, and things don't like to work sometimes, you know. Anyways, a couple of lings coming up top for Impact here, as we do see that hatchery on the third base just starting on up. And as the hatchery starts up on the third base, we do see the Queen of Solar starts to fight against those few Zerglings. So, one ling going down, another ling going to kind of dive on through in towards the main base, and Impact, well, he has that Carapace upgrade coming through. So we actually saw Sue trying this against Impact earlier, kind of the Carapace into the ling speed. So this is kind of Impact trying out a build that was used on him earlier today. It didn't work for Sue. It was on Neon Violet Square, which I personally think is one of the worst maps you can use it on. I mean, it's Neon Violet Square. Like, what are you going to do with, like, a ling-based army on a map where you can go up to 3 bases for free? So it didn't really work earlier. We'll see if it works here against Solar. On a map where that third base definitely is a little bit more out in the open, a little bit more accessible to attacks. As you do see that hatchery. Currently just building on up. Going to be finishing very soon. A couple of Zerglings of Solar continue to come down to the south side. Starting to nibble their way through this hatchery, so a little bit more damage being dealt. Bane Nest is about halfway done for Solar as well. 18 more Zerglings currently on the way up. Make that 20 more Zerglings on the way up. Make that 22 more Zerglings on the way up. Math is just unreal right now as we do see a drone to the left side gets taken down. Solar is actually going to cancel that third base. That's really nice. The lack of ling speed here at the moment is hurting. But over time, it gets better for Impact because he will get a Carapace upgrade to play with, but it's only going to be for 60 seconds because Solar has his own Carapace upgrade coming through as well. Solar already has Banes on the way up too. So while Solar might be in trouble in the next couple, for the next minute maybe, after that, I kind of feel like Solar is actually going to be kind of okay. And with the Banes especially, I think he can hold on for that minute or so. As you do see these lings coming up towards the top side. Well, lings of Solar continue to fight here as well. Pushing those lings of Impact away to the right. We see a couple of Banes coming through also. And we are going to be seeing Impact in the end does just get pushed away. So Impact pushed back here as we see the lings continuing to fight this, continuing to push this away now. And again, that lair from Impact about to finish up. The Rotron finishing soon as well. And immediately Impact. The one thing that he does have an advantage on, I guess, with the single evolution chamber already finished the Carapace, is now he can use the +1 missile attack instead. Or he can already start up the +1 missile attack a little bit faster, I guess, not instead, but he can already get that going. And cancel on the third base again. Wow, Solar just keeps doing this, and, well, we haven't really seen this Carapace upgrade be useful just yet for Impact. Now would be the real time to show it. Can Solar save his third base? Well, honestly, I just don't think there's enough Lings here for Impact. He is going to kill the Queen. Yes, he'll start to deal some damage to the third, but the rest of the Lings are coming through now, and well, that is going to be Solar holding on once again. And if you keep having to reinvest into this third base, this time it comes up on the right-hand side, it just doesn't really seem to end well for you, as Solar will continue to push down the right-hand side of the map now. So Solar pushing down the right-hand side. We're going to see a few Roaches of Impact starting to come through. Remember that with +1 missiles, Impact will soon have a very powerful Roach army compared to Solar. We'll see what Solar can do about it. He does have his own lair much later, so he's also going to be missing out on Roach speed, something which Impact has already got. Just about halfway done now. So again, Solar might just have to be the defensive player for just a little while here. Or at least if he's going to be aggressive, only be aggressive with the Zerglings, because they can move around the map very quickly. If he moves across with the Roaches without Roach speed, it really is just asking to kind of take some damage, unfortunately. So those Lings moving back in towards the main, as we're going to be seeing a few more Lings of Impact showing up here, but they're going to get turned away. Again, +1 missile attack upgrade from Impact is about to finish up, as still those Zerglings of Solar chasing Impact down over this left-hand side. In the end, we'll be able to clean this up. And those things continue to fall, and on the right-hand side, we actually see this Queen of Solar a little bit trapped at the moment. Oh no, this Queen's going to go down. So it's still a bit of a shame. It was really a bit of an unnecessary loss, honestly. Impact doesn't start at +2 attack, by the way. He just continues with drones and Roaches. Was a little bit behind on workers for a good portion of this game, hence Solar's current army supply lead, 78 to 59. It's going to continue pulling back down towards the bottom right-hand side as we see the Overseer continue coming up. +1 missile attack upgrade is coming in on this upgrade. +1 missile attack is still coming in from Solar here. He was so far behind on that, but again, as Roach speed and +1 finishes, he can start to take some fights, and that Roach count is currently insane for Solar. 25 to 26, but he also has 36 Zerglings to tank for him. So that really makes a difference here. Solar's already moving down the right side. He's looking to be able to be in position to attack in as soon as he has this ability to come in with the missile upgrade finishing. So he's getting ready to fight here. Impact can tell he's maybe in a little bit of trouble. Starts a Spine Crawler, hoping that static defense can maybe help him to hold on. So let's start coming in. He's actually going to start sending the Lings in towards the natural and the main, so it's actually just a straight up run by. Never mind using the Lings to tank for the Roaches. Let's see if you can get enough done with this to justify the commitment of all those units over there. It forces a lot of Roaches to turn over into that sort of direction. Solar can start to outnumber his opponent here. He's still fighting without that +1 missiles at the moment. Spinecrawler finishes, will now get targeted down. Some more drones pulling in. Impact's worker count already dropping quite heavily. Lings in the main are still trading out as well. And it feels as though Solar, with a couple more Roaches slowly coming into play, and his upgrade now finishing up, it feels as though he has enough to win this game at #1 and take the lead in this best-of-3 series. His last few Roaches are going to keep on going down, so they're going to keep on dropping. As those Roaches do drop, let's see another couple of drones at the end here. Going to get picked off as well, so that's going to be pretty much it. I mean, Solar's going to take down these rocks just to secure himself a kill on this third base as well. But, I mean, the damage is already done, and Impact very much so knows it. GG. Solar will take game #1 of... Start to the top right-hand side of the map. This Orange Zerg player is Impact. He's also going to be at BTSL Canada next week, so excited to see him too. As to the bottom left-hand side, our Blue Zerg player from Splice is Solar. Alright, then game 2 of the best-of-3. Do you see Impact and Solar sending some overlords across the map here at the moment already, so just starting to kind of scout out. Obviously, as you would expect, I mean, no reason not to send the overlords across the map just yet. Starting to set that up and get a rolling. And a couple of overlords just kind of moving around at the moment. Hatchery on the way up on the natural for both. It's going to be seeing the extractor coming down. And it's just one of those moments in these early stages where we don't really have much to say, I suppose. Here on Eastwatch for ZvZ, it's very... I mean, it's a larger map. It's very... It doesn't really have many consequences in ZvZ, I suppose. Maybe later on you definitely can see kind of... Lurker play, I think, is very powerful in this map because it is very choky in terms of if you want to move anywhere, you basically have to move through choke points. So I can definitely kind of amplify Lurker play later in the game. We'll see if that's something that does come through here, or if it's something that will not come through, perhaps. Because we have been seeing a few of these ZvZs today have been ending a little bit before Lurkers, whether it's been on the Ling Bane phase or the Roach phase. Actually, haven't really seen. We saw a couple of Lurkers in the Sue Impact series, but it wasn't really. They weren't really influential, right? You know, they went down pretty quick, to be honest. They went down pretty quick in the end. Just give me a moment, guys. I have to shut my windows. Too many bugs flying in. Oh, I didn't realize there was already bugs flying through. God damn it, guys. Oh, I hate this. Why does it have to be this time of year? I love the sun, but I hate the bugs. Tough life. Hatchery coming down on the gold base from Solos. This is a bit of a difference, of course. I mean, that gold base, it's something which I don't really think is any harder to hold for a Zerg player compared to, you know, holding this one as your third instead. I mean, obviously it's a little bit further away from the natural, but if you're playing a Ling-based style, you're very mobile in the early game anyways. So I don't think that's a massive issue here, as we do see that Baneling Nest from Solar is currently just on its way down. Currently about halfway done. So yeah, Baneling Nest is just about halfway done. You can see a couple of Zerglings from Impact. I'm just going to be continuing to kind of look to see what's going through. I mean, obviously Impact's actually making 16 more Zerglings, so he's really going to look to try and defend his own third hatchery with a bit of aggression of his own. If Solar has Banes, obviously that is a very easy way to defend while being on a worker lead. So let's see what happens as we see a couple of Queens gathering together, and again, this third hatchery from Solar. Well, this is where we find out, can he hold onto the gold base or not? Lots of Zerglings streaming across the map here. And there's Impact. We'll start to nibble, nibble, nibble. One Baneling gets cancelled. The second Baneling does more Fin Impact already on top of it, though. Still 4 Zerglings that go down to take that Baneling. That's kind of expensive, honestly. Another Baneling cancelled here. Now Impact, his own Baneling Nest will be ready very soon. He will get a kill on the third hatchery. So Solar was not ready to defend this. I really thought the Banes would be a little bit more influential in this, but again, just didn't quite have enough up at the right time there. And you see those Zerglings from Impact still coming forwards, and Solar still backing away just a little bit here. Another couple of Banes coming through, 10 more Zerglings as well. Impact still backing off his Solar. Well, he wants to try and re-expand. This time, re-expanding to the gold, he'll need it to kind of catch back up on the lack of a third base that he's had here for a little while. Bane of, ooh, Impact very nearly getting a lot of damage done. In the end, not too much. He'll cancel that Baneling. No, one hit away. It's going to finish. Gets that full heal. Very frustrating moment, perhaps, as we do see, ooh, a Bane for nothing there from Impact's point of view. It's nice from Solar, who, of course, needs everything he can get to try and get back in this at the moment. Yeah, the Banes of Impact really weren't great at all here, but he isn't reinforcing this anymore. He's making more drones. He's setting up in towards a free base economy now instead. As we still do see more Zerglings of Solar coming across the map to continue cleaning this up. So, yeah, he's going to try and see if he can clean this up and the counter-attack get something done, but I'm not sure if he really can. Impact's kind of looking pretty good at the moment. And Zerglin gets taken down as it runs into the mineral line. Still a little bit more Ling Bane gathering up too, and we are just going to be seeing a bit of movement around the place here. Solar's going to turn around and fight. Baneling somehow hits the less populated half of those Zerglings. It could have been a little bit deadly if it was just slightly different. If the explosion was just slightly... If it's just placed slightly differently. I can't get my words out, apparently. One Baneling gets cancelled again here. Lair on the way up on each side, but it is faster from Solar. His Rotoron coming through. Does he have an Evo Chamber, Solar? Because it is already +1 coming up. He doesn't. So faster Lair, but no Evo Chamber. I wonder if he throws down a Spire? He's making a lot of Roaches, so is he just going to go Roach speed and just try and bust this without an upgrade? Well, he starts Evo Chamber now, but it feels very late. And obviously that will give Impact a +1 attack lead. With a +1 attack lead, you can get a lot done. That's actually Impact's Baneling that's morphing in there. I just had to double check that because I couldn't really tell. And all these Lings of Solar just ran straight past it. Oh my god, that one Ling Bane. Oh my god. Solar does see it in the end. That would have been really something if that Bane had just ended up flanking in and killing everything. That would have been amazing. It survives for now as the first few Roaches are coming out here from Impact. I kind of feel like Solar's in trouble. You know, he is down heavily in work. Massively. I mean, it's already halfway done here from Impact, and Solar is still yet to start it. A couple of Banes over here force some drones to pull away. No real damage dealt, but it does kind of force some lost mining time, of course, and that does add up over time. Another evolution chamber will come down to the side of this natural. Again, just a few more Zerglings of Impact still moving around the map. A fourth hatchery of Impact will come in on the gold base as well, so setting this up on the gold. Fourth base coming through here as we do see those roaches continue to set up over on the left-hand side. This Overseer finishes morphing overhead as well. You still just see more of these roaches of Impact gathering themselves together to see just what they can do next. Again, +1's about to finish from Impact, so I wonder if with 63 drones up, I mean, you have to imagine he's probably going to try and attack with roach speed. I kind of feel like, why not, right? It's that sort of stage of the game, it's like, well, you may as well see if you can get something done. You don't really gain anything from having your roaches at home unless you really are under attack, and if Solar is trying to counter, which I guess you could argue he kind of is with those Zerglings, but not really, because those rocks are down, so he's kind of safe. It's just this entranceway and maybe the fourth base which is in trouble, but I mean, I think applying this pressure can only go well for Impact right now, and especially with the situation he's in. Again, he was head on drones for a long time. That's now transferred into an army supply lead. He had a good early game of killing those third base, and he also has the +1 missile upgrade advantage to push into this fight with. Yes, a couple of Ravages from Solar, but how much are they really going to do? The 2 Corrosive Bars didn't really do anything. Of course, a bit of a split away. I wouldn't even say it hurt the DPS, the damage output, as that is Impact just pushing on through here, and Solar can't scramble together a defense. A few more roaches keep running on in. As we do see, Impact will continue to clean this up. And this will be pretty much it right now. Impact has too much. Game 2 is his. Tied up here, and now we have a third game to decide who will play against Innovation in the Grand Finals. It's best of 5 with Innovation against the winner of this after this series. After this map, because this is the end of the series. Game 3 doesn't go further than this. And it looks as though we're going to have a bit of aggression here in Game 3. As to the top right-hand side, the 12 pool comes down from Impact. Here on Blackpink, well, let's see what the response will be from our blue Zerg in the bottom left, representing Splice. This is Solar. Again, thank you for tuning in today, guys. Just a replay cast to bring you some sort of content, because I didn't cast this last week, because I was away. I was traveling to Switzerland at the time it was being played, so glad to be able to bring you guys this content in some form. And again, it filled up the evening where we didn't actually have anything else to cover, unfortunately. So, yeah, setting up, getting ready to go. 6 lings are on the way. Obviously, because this is a 12 pool, at least the action will get going nice and quickly here. Compared to the other couple of games, you know, we had actually fairly slow starts for the first couple of minutes, so let's watch these lings come across the map. And immediately, obviously, this is going to have to be a drone pull from Solar. We'll see how he tries to defend this, as we do see the first 6 Zerglings currently making their way across to the bottom left-hand side of the map. So 6 things making their way down to the bottom left. Meanwhile, I mean, we do see Solar with the hatch gas pool really doesn't have anything at the moment. So again, it's all about the 12 pool, the kind of the pulling of drones to defend this. With the 12 pool, you want to try and force those drones to pull. You want to try and get a couple of kills. Amazing if you can kill the hatchery, but not always a necessity. And especially because it's a 12 pool into hatch and then a gas, you do have like a backup behind this. You know, you do have something to fall back on. So it's really like a pressure play more so than an all-in. You know, you need to do some damage to be, you know, come out of this ahead, but there's definitely a transition planned here. And so there's the drones. He's here to buy time. He wants to buy time for his lings to pop out. Impact is kind of calling his bluff. He knows that those drones sometimes like to pull away. And so he just sort of sat here and dealt more damage to the hatchery. He's just going to go for it. Impact with the dive will get the kill. And now the Brutans will do some damage as well to help push Impact away. That is going to be a hatchery killed. So that's already a big benefit here. That's 300 minerals Solar has to reinvest, while Impact can spend those minerals on catching up on the drone count. Impact now with double queen on the way out, and that'll be a big part of being able to defend against the counter here. One of the things that has come into play from this is that Solar, of course, has the Zerglings to respond with this, right? Because, you know, Impact didn't turn around and fight or anything. He just targeted the hatchery. So Solar's initial lings that he made defensively can now be used aggressively as they come across the map. A few Zerglings are Solar thinking about pushing up in towards the natural here. At least it seems like they are. A couple of queens gathering up. A creep team will come down towards the front as well. And, well, again, just already looking to try and target some of those down. The queen defense is looking as though it's going to be enough for now. As you see, Solar is actually going to try and double expand out of this situation. Both players going into ling speed. Solar's is slightly faster because he did initially have that gas mining from the way which he opened. The 25 to 20 drones in favor of Impact. Yes, that's going to tie up as a few drones of Solar finishes, but it is in general just a bit of a... It's kind of like a one round of production lead here from Impact, it feels like. You know, he's just one production cycle ahead of Solar at any point in time, it seems. We're just going to be seeing the Rotron and Evo Chamber coming up then. As we do have a few Zerglings just sat behind the Queens, and again the feelings of Solar. Going to have to be just a little bit careful there for the moment. The chamber finishes. Rotron just over 50% of the way done at the moment. Rotron finishes up too, that'd be amazing of course, because then he can start producing some roaches, although he doesn't have the gas just yet. Actually, wow, what a fake out this is. He's actually mastered up Zerglings, so this is a bit of a kind of a fake out from Solar, from Impact. He's got the Rotron, he's got the Evo, but he's not mining any gas at all. He's just looking to spam Lings, but he gets supply blocked with lava popping. That's a massive mistake. Not a time to get supply blocked. Well, let's see what he can do coming across the map. A lot of Zerglings coming down to the bottom left-hand side. And push straight up in towards the natural expansion here. Solar does have a wall up though. His Lings do get surrounded. These Lings will try and keep forcing their way through. It's a very tight wall. These Lings should maybe be trying to target down one of the Evo chambers maybe. He really wants to break through this. I guess in the end he is going to kill this Queen. Oh my god, the Ling's getting in front of the Queen now. The Queen is being kept alive for so long. How is this Queen still living? Finally it goes down. Drones will pull in though, and it feels as though Impact lost a lot. And again, his reinforcements are slow because he was supply blocked for so long. Impact will now get some more Lings in towards the natural expansion. Let's see if he can make this work, as Solar's going to be reliant on these couple of Banelings to get something done. Impact starts to target those down. Lings are still falling here. Drones pulling into fight as well. Hold position on the drones even. Another Queen going down though, and it feels as though Solar is maybe starting to run a little bit out of kind of luck here. Although he's still got a 2-worker lead in the game. Now Impact is going to change that up though. He's going to be drawing it up himself to really take that lead. Actually, sorry, it was Impact that was in the lead anyways. I'm just not able to tell the difference between the two players and their stats at the moment, apparently. But, okay, so Impact comes out of this with a 9-worker lead, and because he does have the Rotron up, Solar actually only has Evo Chambers and the Bane Nest, so he doesn't even have a transition planned. If he wants to transition to Roaches, it's going to be 150 minerals, and then still the time to build a Rotron before you can build those. And so Impact is getting ready to go on this kind of low-tech Roach-Ling attack. He's just going to move across the map here very soon. There's no way he's not looking to end this with Roachling. You know, if there was an intention to go further, he would have been heading in towards a lair already. You know, an upgrade on the Evo. That said, he did just start another round of drones, so maybe he really does have intentions of going further. He just doesn't feel as though he can commit in towards the lair and the Evo chamber just yet. I feel as though that's kind of a weird decision to make. Transfusions come down here as the Queens keeping each other alive, really helping out against this onslaught of Solar at the moment. He's actually going to start winning this fight out though, so Solar's kind of is getting something done. But now Impact starts 8 more Roaches in the production tab, so that's what we've been kind of waiting to see. 8 more Roaches showing up here is definitely going to start getting something done. Ravager will be kept alive for a bit longer, so Solar's just going to try and dive onto the 3rd hatchery. Roaches coming over should not really let that happen. The Lings are really going to try their best to make it so it isn't quite there. Maybe another few Lings to get the kill there in the next few moments from Solar, especially if Impact moves across the map. But even then, what does the 3rd hatchery matter if you're already moving across the map with Roaches? With a 39 to 16 army supply count, Solar is looking so strong at the moment. Sorry, Impact is looking so strong at the moment. Solar is looking like he's in a bit of trouble. I mean, there's that dive by, and yes, he will get the kill on the hatchery. And I think Impact's like, okay, cool, you know, kill the hatchery, man. Because, again, what are you going to do against my army? I've dealt so much damage to you already. I know my position in this game. I know it's a good one. And coming across the map right now, Impact is looking to just bring this to a close. Roaches and Ravagers heading towards the bottom left-hand side. Impact will be seeing what he can get up to in the next few moments, as we are going to be having. These Roaches and Ravagers coming in, taking, or dealing a little bit of damage there already. A couple of corrosive bars do come down. A few Zerglings as well. That hatchery still taking some hits, and we are just going to be seeing it already about half health here. A couple of corrosive bars coming into play, and we are going to see the Zerglings taking another few shots. Roaches and Ravagers' turn to keep on fighting, and they will be able to do a little bit more. A couple of Banelings coming up the ramp at the moment. As those Banes come up the ramp, well, they will start to connect on in, but Impact just has a little bit too much. Pushing on through, that is GG. Impact takes the series 2-1. He moves through to the finals, so he